Virgin, sorry, Sky Sports or BT. But when I was a kid, on a Sunday, they used to have a show on Channel 4. It used to be a match. They used to show an Italian, i.e. Serie A, football match every Sunday during the season. And I was too young to really appreciate it. I'd be like, it's not Man United, it's not Liverpool, it's not Arsenal. So I wasn't that bothered at the time because I was like really young. But looking back, I missed out on a great opportunity to watch some brilliant football. It got me thinking I should do a little video about Serie A football. Bear with me, guys. We need to sort out a microphone holder to stop this making a racket. Hang on. I think I might have something. Apologies whilst I just pop this on, click this on something. I believe this is like some sort of Minecraft figure or something or other. I don't even know why it's in here. It's something to do with my door. God knows. There we go. I can now hold that. And hopefully the mic won't keep making a racket on your end. Hopefully anyway. Let's see how it goes. Yes, I thought we could do a little video about Serie A. I was like, what can I do about the Serie A? I don't want to talk about current Serie A. It's a bit boring. As in like right now. So let's do the top 20 goal scorers in Serie A. I was like, well, yeah, no, let's not do that. Instead, let's go with the top 25 Serie A players of the century. Now, this is not a list I have compiled, clearly because I don't watch a lot of Serie A. I would really struggle to tell you who the top 25 players are there right now, let alone in the last century. So I've done my research, and I found an article by goal.com. Go and check him out. Now this came out in 24, so last year, so it's quite recent, and it is the top 25 players of the century in Serie A. I thought I could just have a little read through. I'll read little captions of some of the stuff they've put around about each player, and just in general we can just go through the list, top 25, okay? And if people like the video, we can then go on to top 25 Spanish, La Liga players, and then we can do Ligue 1, the French league, and Bundesliga, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, that's what we'll do. If you like the video, guys, if you like my content, hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Drop me a comment, whatever, it just helps the video on the channel grow a little bit better. Okay, in at number 25 we have AC Milan's former defender rather. He was a legend. He has been a legend in his career. I think he's finishing up his career currently in Brazil. His career spanned, this off the top of my head, AC Milan was where I first heard of him, PSG and Chelsea, and now he's off in Brazil. I'm sure he was somewhere before he went to AC. Let's have a little look. So number 25 is Thiago Silva, the Brazilian central defender. Alessandro Nesta quickly realised that the 2009 arrival of Thiago Silva at AC Milan wasn't just a positive for the club, but also his career. Nesta said, he's going to extend my life. And Nesta wasn't wrong, as he continued playing alongside the classy but combative Brazilian centre-back until 2012. Franco Baresi, the legend, said he has already proven himself to have everything. He left Italy after just 3 years. I thought he'd been there a lot longer than that, you know. But yeah, Thiago Silva left after 3 years at AC Milan. He went to PSG, I believe. I just told you that, so he must have done. Number 24, and they say, so the article says, if he hadn't left after 3 years, Thiago Silva, he'd have been higher up. Because he only stayed there 3 years, he's in at number 25. 24. The former Juventus, I knew him. Where was he at before Juve? I want to say Udinese, but I could be wrong. We went to Juve. I know he was somewhere before Juve. I'm sure it's Udinese. But again, I could be wrong. But I know of him from Juve and currently at Roma as the Argentinian number 10, is he? Paulo Dybala. Paulo Dybala. It's a long time since Paulo Dybala has been compared to Lionel Messi, and while the link was always tenuous, it was at least understandable for a while. His nickname in Argentina is La Joya. I don't know what that means, but I guess like fun or something like that. He was a fantastic dribbler with a wonderful left foot, and he even managed to upstage Messi on occasion in the Champions League. Yeah, so he was in the Serie A Team of the Year 4 times in 5 seasons between 2015 and 2020. We did have a lot of injuries, didn't he, during his Juve days, and ended up moving to Roma. I know United were linked with him on a few occasions, and even Tottenham in the last couple of years before he moved to Roma. Number 23, Antonio Di Natale. Sorry, not Di Natale. Stupid me. He didn't make his Serie A debut until he was 25, and even then he was more of a winger than a centre forward. What followed, though, was one of the most remarkable and romantic rises to the pinnacle of Italian football. Indeed, the diminutive but explosive striker ranks 6th on Serie A's all-time leading scorers list with 209 goals. 191 of them, it wasn't for a huge team. It wasn't for the Juve's, AC's, Inter Milan's, the Romas, the Napolis. No, he got 191 goals for Udinese. And bear in mind, he didn't start in the Serie A until he was 25. That is impressive. He was twice crowned Coppa Canone or something or other. I guess that's like player of the season in Italy. Only Messi and Ronaldo bagged more goals than the veteran forward between 2009 and 2011. He could have won trophies elsewhere, but Di Natale, one of the game's good guys, never regretted his decision to remain in Udine. I'd do it all over again, he proudly declared. Fair play. Number 22, and we have Gonzalo Higuain. I don't watch Serie A, like I say, regularly. I only really see these teams when they are playing in Europe. But I've never been impressed by Higuain. Even when he went to Chelsea, it's not really for me. A lot of football fans still have a problem with Higuain, it says. Some Argentinians blame him for some of the country's most painful defeats, while you'd be hard-pressed to find a Neapolitan that has forgiven him for joining Juventus at the height of his popularity in the city. However, what's beyond dispute is that for at least a couple of years, there was no better centre-forward in Italy and maybe even the world. He finished in the Serie A Team of the Year 3 times in 4 years. In 2015 to 16, he broke the goal-scoring record for a single season by netting 36 goals in 35 games. And Leonardo Bonucci, paid tribute to one of the greatest number 9s in football when he retired. Now this lad, how he never got moved to a top Premier League team or top team around Europe, I do not know. Number 21, he's just, every time I check scores, he seems to be scoring for like forever, is Ciro Immobile in number 21. Unfortunately for Immobile, he never managed to prove himself at Champions League or international level, but there's simply no questioning his status as one of the finest strikers Serie A has ever seen. Only also won the European Golden Shoe in 2020 after equaling the single season record for 36 goals. The Lazio legend also currently sits 8th on the all-time rankings, 201 goals in 353 games, and could yet add to his tally if he decides to return to Italy's top flight. I'm not sure where. Oh, he's over in Turkey, or he was as of last season. I don't know if he's still there now or not. His former manager, Maurizio Sarri, once put it, Zero is a goal animal. Phones just keep going off here, it's a bloody nightmare. Number 20, guys, we're going to split this video into two parts because it's going to be a long video if I go all the way, so we'll do 25 to 20 today, okay? Sorry, 25 to 10, and then the second part in another video. Number 20, what a player back in the day. Clarence Seedorf. Wow, what a player. Ibrahimovic says Seedorf is the most complete midfielder he's ever seen, and it's a view shared by several other players and pundits. Because of his mix of physique and technique, the Dutchman was almost impossible to dispossess. He left Inter to join AC Milan in 2002 in exchange for Francesco Coco. I remember Coco. I used to have him on FIFA or something back in the day. It ranks as one of the biggest transfer gaffes in football history. Seedorf was a key member of one of the finest midfielders ever assembled and won 2 Serie A titles during his 10-year spell with the Rossoneri. He was there when he was at Ajax. From when he started out, that's where I remember him. AC, Inter, Real Madrid. Not a bad career, is it? What a player. Absolutely brilliant. I remember him, Seedorf, playing with him when I used to again play FIFA or whatever. I'd sign him as soon as I could. Oh, what a player. Yeah, great player. 19, Leonardo Bonucci. Leonardo Bonucci. Bonucci obviously benefited from being flanked by two legends like Andrea Bazzagli and Giorgio Chiellini, but he was a fine defender in his own right, as underlined by the fact that he not only won 8 Scudetti with Juve, he was also named in the Serie A team this season 4 times. I know he was heavily linked with a move. I think it was to City or Chelsea, I believe City. After Italy won the World Cup, was it against England? Or the Euros, whichever. Don't blame me, I can't keep up. It was the Euros, wasn't it? Or the World Cup. That one anyway. The one that we lost in the final to Italy. He was heavily linked with a move right after that to City or Chelsea. City, I think. But never progressed. Number 18, Pavel Nedved. Wow, what a player. Pavel Nedved. Absolutely brilliant at Juve. And AC Milan as well, obviously. Was it at AC Milan? I'm saying obviously, I'm pretty sure it was. Let's look. In Italy, Nedved was known as Furia Secca, the Czech Fury, a pun on his nationality and the word for blind. It was a fitting nickname. Nedved was as aggressive an attacker as the game has ever seen. He was signed by Juve from Lazio. I don't think he played for AC. As a replacement for Zidane. Now, Nedved United were in for him back during Fergie's time, but he never went anywhere. He was nothing like the Frenchman as a player, but he was just as influential. He not only created and scored goals, he also worked tirelessly for his team and was named Serie A Footballer of the Year in 2003, before landing the Ballon d'Or. He was suspended for the Champions League final loss to AC Milan, but that didn't count against him in the voting. Yeah, brilliant player, Pavel Nedved. Number 17, another former Juve. Very good player. I don't know. It's one of them, if you don't watch a lot of him, you probably David Trezeguet formed one of the most exciting attacking partnerships in the 1990s at Monaco. But while the former's move to Juventus proved a disaster, i.e. Thierry Henry, the latter became an idol in Turin. Trezeguet was tall but extremely agile and very elusive. He moves easily like a fish in water, former Buccaneeri boss Fabio Capello said, and he has got extraordinary finishing ability. He reminds me of Paolo Rossi. If you leave him free for just a moment, he punishes you. He was named Serie A Footballer of the Year in 2002 after winning the award. He scored 123 goals in 214 games. That's not bad. He also helped the old lady, i.e. Juve, get back into the top flight after its demotion to Serie B in 2006, which only further endeared him to the fans who had nicknamed him Trezeguet. That's quite funny, Trezeguet. Number 16, Nicolo Barella. Barella, sorry, not Barella. Barella. It was obvious from the moment that Nicolo Barella forced his way into the first team at Calgary that he was something special. The Sardinian Steven Gerrard was an all-action number 8 box-to-box midfielder who could win the ball, use it intelligently, and stick it in the back of the net. At Inter, Barella unsurprisingly took his game to a whole other level, and the two-time title winner is now one of the most coveted midfielders in world football. I might be wrong, I'm sure. I've seen Liverpool linked with him in the summer, and also Man City. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Nicolo is a great champion who has been proving his worth for years now. Inter-coach Simone Inzaghi pointed out, and last season when this was done, Barella was 27, so it'd be 28 now, I should imagine, if maths work. Number 15, another lad who everyone loved to bits, everyone really did, and they all raved about him. I think I had the curse of when I'd watch him, he just stopped playing well. He did have a good game against United at some point. That's number 15, Alessandro Del Piero. Del Piero. He made his debut in Serie A for Juve in '93, meaning we unfortunately have to overlook a significant chunk of his trophy-laden time in Turin because of the parameters involved in compiling the list is for this century. So he missed out 7 years of his career. He came back from a serious knee injury in '98. He remained an outstanding attacker though, and one of the last great number 10s in fact. Juve's all-time leading goal scorer and appearance maker won 3 of his 6 Scudetti after the turn of the century. 2 were eventually revoked due to Calcipoli, which is what they got relegated for that betting scandal. Basically, they cheated to win a couple of their titles. Del Piero was such a beloved and influential figure that even had a type of goal and an area of the field named after him, while Diego Maradona even rated the Italian Fantasista above Zinedine Zidane. I was just never sold on Del Piero, but again, I don't watch a lot of Juve, so I'd struggle to know if he was that good or not. If you notice my ear guys, I've just realised my stretcher is not in. There's one there. This one is on the bloody fireplace next door. I took it out last night, apologies. a centre back sort of thing. He was just 5'9". Well, he's just 5'9". He's not past, thankfully. And he was also unusually small for a centre back, and yet Cannavaro was a player of enormous stature, a model footballer. As Italy coach, Marcello Lippi called him because of the way in which he made the absolute most of his attributes. He has incredible concentration, inner strength, and a superb physical condition. From AC Milan attacker, Leonardo explained. So while he's not very tall, he is rarely beaten in the air because he jumps so high. He won 2 Scudetti with Juve, but both were revoked due to the betting scandal. The same year, he also received the Ballon d'Or, thanks in no small part to leading Italy to World Cup glory. It was actually a betting scandal, was it, from what I remember? Basically, Juventus bosses paid the referees to give them decisions. It wasn't anything to do with betting. Number 13, Lilian Thuram. I mentioned him on another video. I don't know if that's gone out yet or not. When I was looking through sports collector's cards, I mentioned Lilian Thuram. I remember finding out about Lilian Thuram when I watched France in '98, and he was there right back when they won the Euro '98. Lilian Thuram was an almost flawless footballer and defender, so accomplished that he was simultaneously one of the best centre-backs in the world and one of the best full-backs in the world. The Frenchman had every physical attribute required to deal with the biggest number 9s and the quickest wingers. However, he was also incredibly intelligent and so comfortable in possession that he was a tremendous outlet down the right flank for Juve and could even step into midfield when required. He was a brilliant player, and those 2 sons have continued the name. Is it Kefram Thuram, I believe? Is he the one at, where's he at now? Juve, I believe. And then his other son is at Inter. Thuram was part of 4 title-winning teams in Turin, though 2 were taken away. He had such power and aggression in his play. Gigi Buffon said, but he was always so classy. Wow, this is a turn for the books. I don't think this bloke would be happy to see his name down here on the list. We have number 12, Cristiano Ronaldo in at number 12. Bayern Munich CEO Karl-Heinz Rummenigge was stunned by Juve's decision to pay 100 million or 89 million pounds for Ronaldo in 2021. And the wisdom of investing so much money in a 33-year-old is still debated today, not least because it resulted in transfer market guru Pepe Marotta leaving Juve for Inter. However, what's beyond dispute is that Ronaldo held up his end of the bargain. He was bought to boost the Buccaneers' profile and score goals, and that's exactly what he did. Ronaldo scored an incredible 81 times in just 98 appearances in Serie A. He won 2 Scudettis and was also named Footballer of the Year twice. What has been written will forever remain. Juve stayed when Ronaldo left for Man United. Yeah, obviously Serie A is a lot more difficult to score in than La Liga. Just defenders a lot better, and therefore that's probably why his record wasn't as good as it was in Spain. Number 11, and our last one on the list today, Andrea Bazzagli.